Realdo. Realdo.
Yes, yes. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hi Kevin, how you doing?
All well, James.
Hi,
All the
this is-
best.
Sorry. Yes, all the best,
Yeah.
all the best,
All
man.
the best. All the best, Aldo.
How's it going, man? All good?
All good.
Yeah. How are you? Chilling?
Well, chilling. I haven't heard that word for a long time. Chilling, man.
From the 90s.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, it's fine. Putting the final things on the PowerPoint.
All right.
You have to triple check this stuff, you know?
I know. Let's get ready. Open up the last final curtain, man.
Yeah.
That sounds so romantic in the worst way.
That was a romantic music intro, man. Like, do you listen to that music normally?
Yeah. Feel bother, can sleep. Definitely, that's my choice of a music.
Great. Love it. I'm pretty sure my daughter would be like, just just put something else.
You just like not listen to the old people song. Like, oh sure, why not? Yeah.
No, but I really liked it, to be honest. Honestly, it was very, very nice.
Yeah, it's Starbucks music. What it is, eh?
Oh, I should get some water. Anyway,
Water, eh? No problem. Yeah, go grab water, man.
I'll be back in seconds.
Okay, no problem, man. Yeah. OK， 各位观众，大家好。接下来我们准备在1分钟之后就准备要开始了。那就像我刚刚说，我有在那个聊天里面有打，就说如果有任何问题的话，都可以打字，我们这里都可以看得到。那就再麻烦各位了。
Yes. 2 waters.
That's not waters.
That's why I use a white cup, so nobody knows that's full of vodka.
That's
That's not just
what I need, man. That's what I need.
coffee.
Yeah,
the coffee has vodka and the water has no vodka. Okay.
good. That's what I need, man. That's what I need.
Well, this is 4 p.m. over there.
That's right. 10 p.m. 10 a.m. is your place anyway, right?
I can always say like it's night time in Japan, you know. So
that's funny, dude. Yeah.
So should we wait a little bit?
I think we can start now. Yeah.
Just let me know.
All right. 那观众我们就准备要开始喽。Edo, I think we're ready for you now.
Hello, everybody. Yes, and welcome to the Nuendo 11 session. Are you going to say something before, James?
Okay, no problem. 好，那今天来说的话，我们会讲关于更多关于那个影视声音后置这方面上的 Nuendo 11的功能。所以一开始来说的话，我们会讲到 ADR， 然后会就是同步录音、同步收音，然后之后会讲到就是我们大家都很期待的，就是杜比环绕。那我们就来好好的欣赏看一下，就是关于今天 Aldo 会带给我们什么样子的研习。All right, take it away.
Thank you so much, James. Thank you so much, Yamaha Taiwan, for all these events. And of course, for having me back this week for the second session of Nuendo 11.
Sweet.
Today, we are live from Germany. It's Actually, perfect place for software making because it's very rainy, and I'm very nearby from the headquarters, and I just want to give you a warm welcome from all the Pro Audio team to the session.
所以刚才 Aldo 所讲说，现在他是直接在德国那边做直播，然后他也很接近，就是 Steinberg， 就是这个 Cubase Nuendo 他的总公司的总部，然后呢，再一次的欢迎你们，就是上面所看到的，就跟上个礼拜一样，所有的技术团队，欢迎各位来听今天的研习会。
All right, so last week we talked about how Cubase and Nuendo shared all of the musical features and some game audio and VR, and today we'll go to the post-production features.
OK， 所以上个礼拜来说的话，我们Aldo 是讲关于一些是Nuendo 它的基本，以及 Cubase 跟 Nuendo 他们共同有的功能。那今天我们完完全全会讲到关于就是影像后置这一部分。
And there's many different industries where Nuendo takes place. It has tools for a lot of industries. Today, as I said before, I will focus on post-production, but if there's any question about VR or about anything else, I'm always open to have more sessions about this.
OK。所以今天会讲到，就像刚刚所讲的，关于就是影像后置、影像声音后置这一部分。那如果有任何人想要问关于上个礼拜，关于像 VR 或者是 Game Audio 这些之类的话，那当然我们这边台湾雅马哈这边可以再跟 Aldo 再看有什么样子的时间，可以跟大家更详细说明一下。大家想知道关于我刚刚所讲的 VR Game 以及 Game Audio。好。
So these are the topics for today. I have 3 main topics, and I will start with ADR, which is dialogue replacement.
OK， 所以今天的会讲到3个主题。第一个主题我们会讲到 ADR， 就是所谓的就是我们在在影像声音后置会讲到的同步收音。
Then we have Reconform, which is a great tool for post-production, which basically re-edits your whole project to match a new video file.
然后接下来会讲到另外一个功能，叫做 Reconform， 也就是说，如果就是说，当您在做像说电影、电视这一部分，然后如果突然间他们会有任何的 video， 突然间有更新一个版本的时候，他会就是等一下会跟你讲解，有个更好的，就是 Nuendo 11有个更好的工具，可以帮助你将这个流程做得更快。
And then we'll go to the very exciting part of Dolby Atmos, which is immersive sound. So we will have a complete in-the-box workflow for post-production, but also for music in Dolby Sound.
All right， 所以最后也就是我们大家非常非常期待的，就是杜比环绕沉浸式混音。然后这个部分呢，等一下它绝对是手把手去教大家如何去做，而且这个是不只是只有在影像声音后置上，也可以在音乐后置上都可以使用。
Okay, so the first topic, automatic dialogue replacement. This is something that has become very useful a lot because of Netflix. So most people have to be dubbing and doing voiceover into another language. So we have the tool for this.
Okay. 所以接下来我们讲到关于就是 ADR， 也是刚刚所讲到的同步录音是 OK。然后这个部分呢，因为刚刚 Aldo 所讲到的，无论如何在什么样的平台，但现在最多就像Netflix， 然后之后可能会有就像 Disney Plus 那些之类的，有很多都需要做多国语言的语言配音。然后接下来准备要给你们看，就是说 Nuendo 11的工具是如何可以把它做得更快。
And this is a multi-billionaire industry, and it's also used not only for voiceover but for Foley audio, so for recording all the doors, all the footsteps. So this is something that you can easily, if you're working in post-production, maybe monetize on with the ADR.
OK， 刚刚所讲到这个 ADR 这个功能，接下来你所看到的，它不只是适合用在于收人声以外嘞，就是录制台词以外，也可以收在 Foley， 就是我们所谓的就是音效制作上。 音效收音制作上。嘿。
And the main window for this is the markers window. So everything that will be recorded and replaced as a voiceover, it's all organized into the marker window. And I'll go to a Nuendo project just to show you this.
OK， 现在你所看到的这个视窗就是所谓的标记视窗。那这个标记视窗呢，基本上就是上面会有显示时间码以及台词这些之类，以及它是在哪个时间点。那这个部分呢，它接下来准备要秀给你看该怎么做。
Okay, so this is the application. This is Nuendo. And let's say we have a small film or a project that we have to replace some dialogue in.
OK， 那接下来你所看到就是这个project 这个工作档，然后嘞，他准备要给你看说要怎么去做对白替换。嘿。
Okay, so basically, I'm going to open the marker window. The reason why it opens so quick is because I use a lot of key commands. So you will see that I fly through the application because all the key commands are customizable. So now I am the markers window. And let's say that I want to add a marker, which you can do in most DAWs.
OK， 那现在你所看到它打开这个窗，这个就是所谓的那个标记视窗。然后嘞，标记这个功能实际上是在各个很多不同 DAW 都会有的功能。嘿。
So in most cases, when you add a marker, I just added one marker here, and it says number 1, where I can change the description to, let's say, chorus or whatever. I don't know. Like, so now it says chorus. So this is normally a marker, something where you just have like chorus, verse, and all this stuff. This is a normal marker, but in Nuendo, we have the so-called cycle markers, which is a marker that has a start and an end point.
Okay. 那你刚刚所看到它在上面所标记的在 Nuendo 里面标记有2种标记的模式，一个是单一标记，也就是说你刚刚所看到的第一个，它所标记就是那个地方，那个就是只有所谓的起点。那它接下来给你看到了 cycle marker， 它是会标记起点跟结束点是在什么地方，所以说这个等一下它会给你看它会怎么去使用。OK。
So because now I have a cycle marker, which means I have a starting and an end point, then Nuendo can automatically start recording according with this marker. So it will start a recording and it will end the recording automatically without you having to be pressing start and record and stopping the project. So it will do it automatically within this cycle marker, the recording.
All right. 所以说，当我们要去做 ADR 录音的时候，如果你是使用是 cycle marker 这个标记模式的话，因为它已经有所谓的起点跟终点，所以说我们在做录制的时候，我们不需要去按多余的任何个按键，那它会自动侦测你的起点开始，然后来自动帮你把那个录音模式关闭在你的终点。
So for example, I have my cycle marker and I have a dialogue here where I can put the dialogue. And as soon as I type the dialogue, you can see that now the dialogue is being shown in the screen.
OK， 所以在这个地方，它现在是在那个 cycle marker 这个地方，然后嘞，在这个标记视窗里面，它有许多你可以去 input 的资讯，像是刚刚所打进去的就是如果说是配音员voice talents 配音员这些他们要讲的台词，就直接打上去。然后嘞，也就是在上面会秀出来。他刚打的时候，在那个画面视窗里面就会出现了。
Okay, so in this session, I actually already prepared cycle markers in 3 different languages: in Spanish, in English, and in German.
那在这里它在这个cycle marker 这里面嘞，它会标记这个，因为它会需要录像不同国家语言。那他刚刚所讲是3个不同国家，English 就是英文，然后西班牙 ，and what's the third one? English,
Spanish, and German.
还有德文，嘿。 I'm
So
sorry.
for example, I can easily change the language of the whole, if I open the video, I can easily change the language of every part of the project. I can go and scroll around any type of different languages, and I can start recording automatically the actors.
OK，所以你刚刚所看到，它在标记视窗的左上角那边有个 track， 然后那个地方，当它在点下去时候，你会看到它有 ADR English、ADR German、ADR Spanish， 它可以去切换到不同国家的语言的台词，然后藉由这样子，让配音员更能了解说到底他接下来要配什么样子的台词。
Okay, so you might think that this takes some time to set up, which is true. You have to set the markers, but there's also another thing that is important. You can import all this dialogue into a text file to Nuendo. So you can prepare all these markers at home into a text editor and just import it. So there's two ways to do it. You can import the file itself with all the dialogue, or you can do it in Nuendo just as I did it here.
OK， 好，那你现在所看到在标记里面所有的时间点跟以及台词那些之类的，基本上呢有两种方式可以去标明在 Nuendo 里面。一个类就是你自己先打好这些资讯，然后你可以去置入到那个 Nuendo 11里面，然后它就会自动显出来，或者是就跟刚才一样，它就直接在上面做标记，然后就直接即兴现场赶快打。这有时候我们在电影、电视里面会碰到的状况。Sorry, yeah.
So now that we're all set, now there's more. So listen to this. There's this thing called target track, and what this means is that Nuendo will start recording exactly on the marker, exactly on the track, automatically. So if I want to start recording on track, let's say Dave, which is this character Dave, I can see that it's on track number 2. I can see this track number 2 here. So I can start recording and it will just automatically record, enable Dave, and it will record there in that marker exactly on that track automatically.
Sweet deal. OK， 他刚刚说，就是刚刚我有讲到关于这个标记视窗里面，它有很多不同，你可以放入很多不同的资讯。那它有其中一个非常好用的资讯，就是说你可以放在，就是可以打入你要放在哪个轨道上，就像刚刚所看到的，他要录一个演员，然后那个演员的名字叫 Dave， 我们在旁边可以看到这蓝色的轨道是第2轨，然后相同的，他在这个标记轨道，它里面有说 target track， 就是目标是要录进哪个那个轨道，它可以打入那个轨道的数目，所以两个 match 起来，你只要按一下录音，它就自动在那个 cycle marker 那个时间点底下，然后又是录在你想要的轨道上。
So as you can see, I am starting recording. I am not even touching the tracks. I'm just going between my list of markers and it just starts recording on the right track automatically. So then you save a lot of time. You can also record multiple takes and it will become lanes. So you can select then which take is the best. And you can have also a visual representation on the video so that the actor can read and see when the dialogue is coming.
OK， 所以刚刚所讲到就是说，它因为这边都已经有 set up 好，所以它其实真的实际上我们只要按下录音，然后呢，它就会自动跳在刚刚所讲到的对的时间点跟对的轨道上，它根本不需要再碰其他的按键。
So basically, you save the time for spotting where you want to record, and also the time to be just record enable, monitor enable. Then you have to record enable GME. Then so all the talents waste no time in the studio. You save a lot of money because time in the studio is very expensive, and you save also time of the actors. So you save a lot of time and money.
他刚刚所讲到的嘞，就是时间就是金钱，对吧？ OK， 好，所以说使用这样子功能的话，基本上来，它也不需要像我们如果说有使用过 DAW 录音的朋友们，应该都知道，我们每次要做录音的时候，我们都要在我们想要的轨道上去按监听以及去按那个录音钮，所以我们才有办法可以在那个地方录音。但是借由这个 ADR 这个ADR 这个 Take 这个功能嘞，就他刚刚所秀的，其实就刚一定好的东西一定要讲3次嘛，对不对？你不需要按任何按键，唯一大概你就是按录音，然后就自动帮你去做其他的事情了。嗨。
And now, because of course Nuendo has more things, I want to show you something that's exclusive, and it's the Loudness Track, which means that if you are mixing to mix to some loudness that you have to comply, and you go further to that loudness, Nuendo will give you this very red marker saying you went too far. So the Loudness Track analyzes the loudness of the whole project and lets you know where you went too far. So when you see red, you can put down a mix and then you're ready to go. So the Loudness Track is also very exclusive from Nuendo.
Alright， 所以在 Nuendo 有一个特别的功能，它就叫 Loudness Track， 这是音压侦测轨道。然后这个部分嘞，它实际上就说，只要是你有一些，就说如果说在在一个时间点，你看到它上面有显示红色的，就是我们那个红色的那个什么？哎，对 ，could you let me see the red the pink one the red
Yes.
Sorry, thanks a lot. 就是你刚刚所看到那个我们叫做 pick。然后在这个地方你看到的红色，它会跟你，也就是提醒你说你要小心，就是这个音量已经爆了，所以要特别，所以你可以之后就是你不只是在录的当下，或者是在回音的时候，它就有这个显示，可以让你知道说有哪些地方你需要重新再做一下调整。嗨。
Pretty cool. So okay, let's move on with some other new stuff. And I want to quickly mention one multimeter plugin that we have that is called Supervision. And this is basically a multimeter plugin so you can visualize everything on your project.
OK， 所以接下来他可以看到了，就是说也是 Nuendo 这一次的一个新的功能，然后这个叫做 Supervision。OK， 它是帮你去做监看。在不同的音压表这边，它都可以让你看到说到底有哪边你看到你现在所混的以及所录的这些音压会是在哪里。然后特别这个 supervision 会出现原因，那是因为刚才所讲到的，现在有很多的平台，他们有自己的音压的规定。嗨。
And as you can see, there's a lot of different types of of things you can measure, but the exclusive ones from Nuendo are only 3. And I want to talk to you about this because we have a Netflix meter.
OK， 接下来他准备要跟你看，就是说 Nuendo， 因为现在 Netflix 实际上已经算是一个最大的一个影视播放平台，所以其实有很多像说我们台湾或各个国家，我们在做我们自己的作品要丢上去的时候嘞，它这边Nuendo有一个就是专门是给你看，就是Netflix 他们的规定，它的音压规定表，然后这后面就会有括号 Netflix。All right.
And I also want to mention that we are part of the Post-Technology Alliance of Netflix, which means that this measurement is being approved by them. So it's a collaboration in conjunction with Netflix.
All right. 所以Netflix 的这个 Loudness Meter 实际上是真的是 Netflix 他们自己官方跟Steinberg 跟 Steinberg 他们一起来共同打造的这个音压检视表。嗨。
And the most important thing about this meter is that it measures the dialogue. And that's because Netflix is very dialogue oriented. Of course, there's music and there's documentaries, but most people are watching things with dialogue. So there's this dialogue gate loudness. So we have incorporated that into the metering. And this is actually something that Netflix requires. So if you are delivering to Netflix, now you have the meter in it in Nuendo.
OK， 所以在这个底下，刚刚所看你们刚刚所看到的，因为这是 Netflix 他们自己官方所认证的，就是音压表。然后这里面 Netflix 还有特别要求，就是说里面的dialogue 里面的人的声音、台词这些，它的音量表一定要规定在什么地方。OK， 好，因为 Netflix 真正它主要当然是有其他的，像说我们讲说音乐、音效或这些之类的，但是他们会主要是看你的人声。
And something I must mention also, if you're in a hurry and it's very late at night and you have to do a mix down to Netflix, then we also have the ability to have the normalization with the dialogue gate measurement for Netflix. So if you enable this and you have to deliver multiple files, or you have to deliver something that you're not really sure, we do have a solution where in the export menu, you have the option to have the dialogue gate measurement for Netflix. So you will be able to deliver according to their standards. Even if you're not really sure how it works, we got your back covered here.
All right， 所以刚刚所讲的，当然的确，我们刚刚所说 Netflix 它是对于人声的这个人声的音量是特别有要求，所以在 Nuendo 这里面，在输出的视窗里面呢，会有特别，而且这是在 Nuendo 11哈，就跟你说，在 Nuendo 11，它特别有一个括号，就是底下有个选项，就是 Dialogue Gate Measurement， 就是这个人声的那个音量表，它会自动帮你去弄成，就是说就是 Netflix 那边所要求的，所以I'm sorry， 所以基本上Nuendo 11它真的是针对于这个各大的那个什么影像平台，它都有很好的解决方案。Yeah. Sorry for
interrupting, man. Thank you.
No, it's all right. It's okay. Sorry.
Another thing, now that we're in this window, just in case you missed last week's session, I want to mention that this is a very powerful matrix for delivering also stems. So if you go to multiple, you can deliver all the stems, even in different type of resolutions, even MP3s of the whole mix for reference, even MP3s with not the best quality. You can have multiple files rendered at the same time, and you can actually then, whenever you want, export all your stems with all your mixes with your 5.1, 7.1 stereo, mono, everything together in just one go.
All right， 所以你所看到这个部分，其实这个也是还蛮强的一件事情。我知道我们在做这些声音输出的时候，当然我们也要看说，有时候如果我们要去做一个就是输出一个取样率，那基本上就像我们所讲的48或4824或这些之类的，我相信有做过这方面的朋友都知道，那我们一次性只能输出一个规格而已。但是在 Nuendo 11这个地方嘞，我们是有办法可以去输出不同的规格，就是同一时间可以输出不同的规格。你只要在那个底下，你看他刚刚所点到了，然后你看它的旁边 file formats， 就这边都会有不同的那个什么 bits， 然后有不同的 sample rates， 一次性点下去，然后就帮你全部都输出出去了。Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks a lot. Okay, so moving on, let's go to the other second very unique post-production feature called Reconform. Let's talk about how Reconform, where is it coming from? Let's say if you're working on a soundtrack or film and you finish the soundtrack, but the editor comes at 3 a.m. and gives you a new video, and now you have to adapt your audio project to this new video file.
Okay, can we just say we're close? All right, I'm just kidding. All right, man. Okay, 接下来要跟你讲的是关于就是 Reconform 这个特别的工具，然后嘞，它上面所 list 给你就是所有，我相信做过，就是在这个业界，我相信大家都会碰到同样的问题，就是你已经在公司里面加班到很晚了，然后嘞，你真的很想回家了，但是没想到一回家之后嘞， 导演或制片或那些助理就直接又跟你讲说，嘿，我们有新的那个影片嘞，所以麻烦你帮我们再做一下处理。然后这个部分嘞，对我们来说真的是还蛮不能说很烦躁，就是算是还需要花很多时间的一个流程。
And so basically the easiest way to think about reconforming is that automatic re-editing of your whole audio project according to a change that happened in one video file.
Alright, 所以我们要去想什么叫做 reconforming 这个功能，实际上呢，就是说它会自动，这个功能是可以自动帮你把你现在所做的这个版本嘞，去 match 到，去符合你的就是他们所给你的新的版本。
And what you need for this, of course, you already had the old video with something called the EDL, and that's the Edit Decision List. The EDL is something that gets exported from the video editors. So you need the video with the EDL, which looks like this.
Okay. 好，can you just like the last Yep. OK. 所以基本上要用到这个工具的话，它有以下的条件。OK， 第一个你一定要有新的影片嘛，对不对啊？我都在讲废话，我了解。那第二个嘞，你会需要用到就是 Eda File， 也就是我们俗称所谓的剪辑结果清单，就是 editing decision list。然后这个嘞，这两个都必须要从就是影像后置那边要拿到，但是嘞，你自己本身一定要有你的旧的版本的那个影片，以及刚才我所讲到的那个剪辑结果清单。
So an EDA file, so the edit decision list, is a very boring file containing all the time codes where the scenes got selected and then edited into the film. So it's a lot of numbers, and Nuendo takes care of this. Luckily.
All right, 所以你现在所看到就是EDL 就是刚刚所讲的那个剪辑结果清单，然后这个其实是还蛮无聊的一件事情，也不能说无聊了，但对于来说你看的时候你会看到上面全部都是数字。OK， 所以Nuendo 就这个他们团队就有一个这个新的功能，可以帮你说，嘿，我真的不太想看这些数字了。来，那接下来他会跟你讲该怎么做。All right.
And basically, every time the video editor exports a new video file, he can export the EDL that belongs to that video file. So every time you get a new video, you should get a new EDL. And then Nuendo compares these two time codes and see where the difference are.
太棒了，所以这个也是跟我们这些人讲说，就是说每一次当影像后置那边出新的 video 的时候，当然有时候我们其实很少拿到，有些人是真的很少拿到 EDL， 我们基本上都是拿新的 video， 然后我们就直接干下去了。那当然这个会花我们多时间，所以切记他是在帮我们，就是希望我们不要走冤枉路，所以当那个影像后置给你一个新的 video， 记得问他们说，请问有没有 Eda File 可以给我们？嘿。
So this is how it looks in Nuendo. Now I just gave you all this theory so that you know what's going on, but you don't have to worry about this. Nuendo compares an old EDL, so the old video file, with the new video file, all the time codes, compares for you, and then gives you a result, which is called the change EDL. So basically, all the time codes gets compared, and then one list comes with a change of everything that happened, what got moved.
OK， 所以你现在所看到这个就是所谓的就是 reconform 的视窗，然后你看到现在它滑鼠在的地方，就是它的旧的 EDL， 然后呢，在它现在滑鼠的地方是新的 EDL。那当你把这两个不同 EDL 摆在一起的时候，Nuendo会自动帮你去做计算，然后帮你看一下有什么地方 那个是有被剪辑过、有动过或什么之类的。然后我们再看底下的 lower one change EDR， 在那个底下嘞，它就会list 就会列出哪个地方有被动过。嗨。
So for that, I will open a Reconform project. 1 second.
All right. 接下来准备要秀给你们看，它要用 Reconform 的功能。
Okay, and I must say that normally you got more screen space because I'm in a laptop now. It looks kind of like the window is very big, but normally in Nuendo you can have way more screen space. Okay, this is, let's say I have a project. This is actually the same project as before, but has nothing to do with ADR. Please say that. This is just the same project, but I will reconform it. So it has nothing to do with ADR. We have a project.
No problem. No problem. No problem. 刚刚 Aldo 说是你现在所看到的是跟刚刚我们在用 ADR 的那个是同样的 project， 但是这个并不是要秀给你看 ADR， 它只是用同样的工作档去秀给你看 Reconform， 需要怎么样去做使用。
Okay, so let's say I have a project and this project is ready, but then I get the new file. So I have my Reconform window in Nuendo, and this is my old video and my new video file with their respective EDLs.
OK， 所以它现在就是给你看关于这个工作档会有的，那它有它的旧的 EDL， 就是在那个Reconform 的左上角，以及它有新的在右上角。OK。
I still have not compared them. So when I click generate, it will compare the time codes and it will give you the change EDL on the bottom.
OK， 所以它接下来准备要按，你们会看到上面两个视窗中间有个小按钮叫做 generate， 就是产生器。然后它点一下这个产生嘞，等一下你就看它会列出那个被动到的结果。
So I just click generate, and now I see the videos, the new video and the old video, and I can see the changes that took place. And I also have a visual representation of what's going on with my normal new video and where the new scenes got inserted over here.
OK， 所以你看到它这底下，它刚才按 generate 的时候嘞，它就列出来到底有什么地方有动过，然后你看它的最右边的 video， 它有 compare， 就是它有给你看到就是新的跟旧的，然后在最底下你有看到 source 跟destination， 那底下来它会用视觉上让你去看说有什么地方是有被动过，有什么地方是被就是反正刚刚所讲被移动到，对不起，一大堆废话。Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so now when everything seems all right, then I can click on Start Reconform, and I will do that, and the project will change very fast, and you will see that the new video will get added, and then the spaces will get also placed where they belong when I click Start Reconform.
All right, 所以接下来我们要去见证这个奇迹的一刻了哈。它只要一点 Start Reconform， 我们等一下准备要看到这个工作档里面的东西会跟着会变动。Let's start it.
3, 2, 1, go! Poof! That was it.
Wow, you're kidding me.
Now I have. Now there's the two videos here, huh? So I can see that my old video. There's a new scene here. This is new, and some things also got moved, so you can see visually what happened. So this is the new video, and it got placed, and now over here I have the space to start recording the voiceover and the music and all that.
All right. 所以他刚刚说点下去你已经看到了，我们在第一个看到 video 那是我们旧的 video， 那我们再看到另外是新的 video， 然后他会把你的旧的 video 分开来，除了把你的旧 video 分开来以外，他也会把你工作档上面的，就像你上面所看到的 ADR 这些声音档案，然后会帮你分到就是依照你的新的画面去把它分过去，那中间有那些空隙，也就代表说那中间一定有新的东西，新的场景或这些需要去做录制或者是 去做配乐或音效配置。嗨。
Apart from that, Nuendo will create some markers that will let you know where the old video was, where the new video got placed, and also if there's some weird things, for example, with the automation or where two audio files clashed. So you will also get some markers telling you where there are potential problems that you might want to check out.
OK， 所以当你在当他除了他在帮你去做这个调整以外，当然他也会秀给你看，以marker 以标记的方式，让你知道说，新的就是变动的地方会是在哪里。除了这以外呢，他还会给你两个不同，就是另外一个标示，也就是警示啦。一个就是 automation， 就是也许我们这已经混过了，但是到那个地方这个 automation 有被动到了，就跟我们之前的是不一样。然后另外一个就是 audio clash， 也就是说有可能这个声音档是有重叠到的，所以这些 automation warning 跟这些之类，我们我们一定要去看到底会有发生什么样的问题，然后去做一下调整。All right, man.
So basically, if you had to do this by hand and chop everything and put the new video, it can lead to human mistakes and it can take a long time. So this reconform just saves a lot of time, basically.
All right, 所以reconform 是真的是可以帮到我们，就是说我们可以省略掉我们自己还要说去剪它或什么之类。有时候你也知道嘛，我们自己做的时候也会有一些差距，或者是也会犯了一些不该犯的错在这个上面。OK， 所以说既然你要快速去做的话，那就不如用 reconform 这个功能，能够帮你快速把所有你觉得很烦恼、很累的那些流程，把它全部就是一点下去，就可以帮你做到好。OK。
Cool. So now we go to the very exciting part, which is the third and last big topic for today, and that will be immersive audio or immersive sound. Yeah.
That's pretty fast, man. That's really fast. All right. OK， 好，接下来准备了，我们就是要进入到今天的最主要的主题。OK， 沉浸式混音，沉浸式。好。
And this topic, I save it for later because it will take some time, and it's so exciting that it will be just a lot of information. So there's 3 industries that are pushing immersive sounds, and those are films, game audio, and virtual reality.
OK， 这个非常接下来会非常精彩。好，那不过呢，他刚刚所讲到的沉浸式混音，沉浸式混音用在3个不同的地方上，一个就是我们所谓的影视 ，OK， 电影，然后呢也用到就是在游戏声音里面，然后再来也有用到就是VR 里面，嘿。
So fortunately for us musicians, now all this is getting into music too. So now the Dolby Atmos format is being also applied to music. So that's another thing that's very exciting. So apart from this industry is pushing the immersive sound further and further, now it's finally getting into music.
OK， 所以你刚刚所讲到的电影，然后游戏以及 VR， 除了这3个以外嘞，现在业界也就是现在也是推广到音乐这一部分，然后这个部分大家要跟你们说一下，其实现在我上个礼拜就讲过了，就说其实现在台湾这边已经有几家已经开始在用这个 immersive sound， 而且这个也就是有些是专门是真的有买 Nuendo 11，然后去做这个音乐的环绕混音。All right.
Okay, so one keyword that you might have heard a lot is object-based audio, and it's because the immersive sound has object-based audio, and I will explain that in just a little bit.
OK， 然后这个部分呢，它就会讲到关于 object-based audio， 也这个等一下会再做更多的说明。不好意思，因为 object-based audio 我不知道该怎么去说这个中文，但是我希望等一下看的时候，可以借由他的借由他刚刚所做的，可以给你们更好的解释。So
if you have a special room like this, which is my virtual room right now. Let's say you have 25 speakers. If you have a lot of speakers and you can let's say have an immersive mix, then Nuendo has the tools for you. But I'm going to tell you why it is so important apart from the experience. It is interactive with the user because the user can change, for example, the language, for example. It is personalized. It will stay customized to whatever settings you have. If you have a home theater Dolby Atmos device, for example. And the most important part is that immersive audio is independent from the speaker setup. So it can even be enjoyed on headphones. So you can enjoy it on a big room full of speakers, but it can also adapt to a smaller room or to headphones. So that's one of the key elements of why it's so important. It can adapt to the speaker setup.
OK， 所以所讲到的关于这个 immersive sound， 你刚刚所看到的图片上面有这么一堆喇叭，我相信没有人会希望能够建立这个。如果你想建立的话，你就是我们所有人的金主了哈。那不过呢，这个部分呢，他讲到 immersive sound， 这个呢，它有办法可以从说我们多种喇叭以外呢，它也可以 adopt， 就是它也可以植入到像光是用耳机就可以听得出来。那基本上其实就像我们现在所玩的，无论说是 PS5 或 Xbox 或这些 PC 游戏，其实有很多这些都已经是我们光是用耳机就可以听到整个沉浸式混音。嗨。
And of course, let's say the downside or the requirement for it to be adaptive to any speaker is that it has to be rendered each time. So it is a data file. It is a file that contains all the panning, the video, the metadata for all the tracks, everything into just one file, and it has to be rendered every time it's played. It can be rendered on a cloud on the internet. It can be rendered on a films, let's say a Dolby Atmos film, or it can be rendered on a Yamaha hardware, but it must be rendered each time it's played to adapt to speeds.
OK， 所以不过呢，在这个部分来说的话，就说我们在做这些时候呢，我们都一定要去经过 render， 就是它需要去。每一次我们如果说要把这个 immersive 混音，无论如何是去对，就是对外，不论是对耳机，或者是对我们说刚刚你所看到的多种喇叭或者一些，只要每一次我们的 change， 每一次我们的混音的改变或这些，都必须要经过一个 render。那 render 其实就是很像就是它就是去把它去做产生出来，对。
Basically, a renderer is a fancy term to just a software or a device that can play this file.
那 render 基本上呢，就是只是就是在于说是就说软体里面的用词或这些之类的，才。
And I will start with the example of Dolby Atmos because we have more immersive sound support for other stuff. But I will go to the Dolby Atmos example because Dolby Atmos is one of the leading film audio formats that is available now.
OK， 接下来他准备要给你看 Dolby Atmos， 然后我相信大家也知道，杜比环绕它用在于很多我们现在无论如何是这样说看，像刚刚所讲的 Netflix 或电影或者这些之类，包括现在刚刚所讲的有推广音乐这部分。OK， 那这个他接下来要准备秀给你看会怎么做，嘿。
And this is a Dolby Atmos theater, so you can see there's ceiling speakers, so it's really immersive, it's three-dimensional, and I will go with the basics of how Dolby Atmos works before I go to Nuendo and show you how it works in Nuendo.
OK， 好，所以他要先跟各位讲一下关于说这个 Dolby 这个Dolby 环绕、杜比环绕的概念会是在哪里？然后你现在所看到的电影，就是杜比环绕的认证的电影院，你会看到旁边、左右以及上面都会有喇叭。嗨。
So most people know 5.1 surround because it was a standard for a long time. So most people know 5.1, which means that you have a center speaker, left, right, you have a left surround, right surround, and a low frequency effects or subwoofer. That's 5.1.
OK， 所以之前的最高标准的5.1，这已经在这个业界已经生存了很久了。我相信大家都知道，我们买什么东西就是5.1、5.1、5.1耳机或什么之类的。那这个5.1的概念来说的话，就是一定会有左边喇叭、中间喇叭、右边喇叭，然后以及左后方、右后方，左后方、右后方，然后跟一个重低音，所以如果说刚刚所讲到是有6个嘛，点1实际上就是那个重低音 ，OK， 好。
Now, if you take a 5.1 surround and you add 2 rear speakers, then you get a 7.1 surround.
OK， 那7.1只不过刚刚所讲的，它的在更后方，就是我们的正后方左边跟正后方右边再多加2颗喇叭。Yeah.
So far, this is only 2-dimensional audio because there's only X, Y dimension. So far, there's no height so far. So in 5.1 and 7.1.
OK， 在7.1跟5.1这部分，我们只是对于说我们的周围而已，并不是在讲到关于并没有所谓的高度在这个里面。嘿。
So once we put the height speakers, then we have the 3-dimensional audio. So with the height speaker, we have X, Y, Z. So now you can have sounds coming from above.
这个3D audio 呢，除了我们周围以外呢，它会增加就是上面的喇叭，所以这整个声音听起来就会更有层次，然后更有那个氛围。
So what Dolby does is that basically the most basic setup for Dolby, the most basic is 7.1 plus 2 ceiling speakers, and that is called the Atmos bed. So it's a 9.1 surround sound, and it's the most basic Dolby Atmos format there is.
OK， 所以你现在所看到的就是它的7.1 surround 加上2个在吸顶式的那个喇叭。OK， 2个吸顶式喇叭，这个加起来呢，这个就是叫做 Atmos Bay， 就是9.1， 然后这个就是杜比环绕最基本的一个 setup。好
And this thing that I will refer in the future as Atmos bed, you can think about it of the main mix or sub mix for your movie or your, let's say, where all the dialogue, the music, all the main elements are mostly on this Atmos bed. So it's like the main submix for the surround sounds.
OK， 所以你只要去想说这个9.1这里面嘞，它之后会再讲说 Atmos bed 哈，这个9.1就是包含了我们所听到的dialogue 人声，然后音乐以及音效。Yeah.
And then you have the so-called objects. And this is why it's called object-based. After you have the Atmos bed, the 9.1, you can add more than 100 more objects. And these are the speakers that are placed around. So with those ones, you can have different kind of panning. So you can pan, for example, a helicopter flying all over your face to the next side, for example.
OK， 所以你刚刚所看到这个 Atmos Bay， 它是最基础、最基本的一个就是声音的会在的地方。不过嘞，在这个 Dolby Atmos 就是9.1以外嘞，它会新增更多关于就是 object， 也就是我们所谓的，其实 object 它解释来说应该就是物件。OK， 好，那它这边你看到这些物件的就是 object 这些喇叭嘞，它有办法可以让你能够说像说直升机它从什么地方飞到什么地方，你可以非常清楚感受到它的飞航的航线，然后因为光是那声音你就知道非常的精准。嗨。
And of course, for that, you need a special panner that comes with the height panner, the panning, and we do have that in Nuendo internal. So everything that I will show now in Nuendo comes with Nuendo. So we have the panner, we have the renderer, everything is inside the box.
OK， 所以 他接下来要给你看，就是你不需要再买任何第三方或有的没有之类的 ，OK？ 好，他说介绍给你的东西全部都是在 Nuendo 里面，包括你现在所看到这个 VST Multi Panel， 也就是说我们有办法可以把物件除了可以移动到我们周围以外，我们也可以移到高度。嗨。
And this is the renderer. So if you are familiar with Dolby Atmos and you have seen the Dolby Atmos production suite, this is also a collaboration between Dolby Atmos and Steinberg. It's been made with them, and the down mix presets are from Dolby. So it sounds exactly as the Dolby Atmos production suite and as Dolby wants it to sound. So this is a conjunction relationship with Dolby.
OK。所以你现在所看到的就是他们这一次 Nuendo 11的最主要的杜比环绕 render，OK， 然后这个嘞是真正是由杜比官方认证跟 Steinberg 一起合作打造出来的这个功能，然后嘞，所以你看到它上面还有一个就是说 down mix 是什么意思嘞？就是所谓的现在我们是9.1嘛，对不对？我们有办法。Thanks, Aldo。我们有办法可以把就是那个聆听的模式从9.1，然后换到7.1.4，然后再换到5.1，然后这些声音都不会差太多。为什么？因为它是真正是由杜比那边所认证的。
Okay, so I'm going to explain real quickly how this gets into one file, because you might be thinking, how is this possible to have all this information into one file? So you make your mix in Nuendo and you're happy with it, and everything has to go through the renderer. And the renderer exports just one little file, which is the ADM file, just one file with everything, the video, the metadata, the panning, everything.
OK， 所以你现在所看到的最左边这个地方 audio 跟 metadata， 也就是说你已经有混过。你已经混过就是那个杜比环绕的模式之后呢，你会进入到我们刚刚不是有讲到吗？每次你在混过什么之类，然后混过这个每次混完之后呢，你都要经过他们的杜比的认证，杜比 Atmos Render 的认证，然后之后就会出一个叫做 ADM File。这个 ADM File 里面呢 ，ADM 档案会包含你刚刚所使用到的声音以及你的那个杜比的资讯。
So ADM, you might wonder if you have never heard this term, is an open standard for the production and exchange of object-based content. So it's completely open standard, which is great. So now it will no longer belong to a company. It's completely open. And this is where Nuendo, it's very exciting to have it there, because now everybody can mix and deliver an immersive mix.
OK， 所以 ADM 实际上是现在所出来很棒的一个解决方式。因为为什么？因为之前我们以前都知道说杜比认证或这些之类，这只有属于一个就属于杜比那部分。OK， 那现在它有出所谓的 Audio Definition Model ADM， 然后这个嘞是 open 的，就是说它是开放的，也就是说其实是任何其他只要是可以置入 ADM 的后置软体都有办法可以抓得到你刚刚所混的这些环绕这一部分。
And it is so much supported by even Dolby that there's online free converters from ADM to .atmos. So if there's people wondering, this is not a .atmos file, it is basically the same. For Dolby, it still is a supported format, and online you can convert this ADM to a .atmos if necessary for free.
OK， 所以除了这以外呢，刚刚所讲到的，就是说杜比有跟就是杜比有跟很多就是合作，那所以说这个 ADM 这个部分呢，在杜比还特别在官网上有所谓的，就是因为杜比它自己本身有杜比自己的档案，你都有办法可以把这个 ADM 所混完的这个 ADM 档案嘞丢上去到这个官方里面嘞，然后它会免费的帮你转入到这个他们认证的档案，就是转换成他们的杜比认证档案。
Okay, and to give you more info about how much this is being supported, there is also a free renderer that you can download, and it's coming from the European Broadcasting Union. So even the European Broadcasting Union, people are trying to open this immersive audio, and we will see it more and more in every TV film, music production that we see in the future. So this is starting and it's not stopping.
I just want to make sure for this EBU ADM renderer, that's actually a software, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, 好，那这个部分来说的话，这个 EBU ADM，它像说它还有就是说是 ADM 的 render 这个它有的免费的程式叫做你上所看到 EBU ADM render， 你都可以去做下载，就是可以让你去把你所混的东西去转成 ADM。Yeah, that's actually. Let me just want to make sure that the render is actually rendering the thing into, I mean, your project into ADM or
basically. So let's say Nuendo produces an ADM file. Okay. Yeah. So let's say you have a client that want to play this file into an immersive open space somewhere in a forest. Let's say this person does not need Nuendo, and this person does not need a Dolby Atmos renderer. This person can download this for free and play that file whenever. So it's all freeware. That's what I mean. So the ADM is generated by Nuendo. And then if somebody doesn't have Nuendo, they can still play it for free anywhere with this renderer.
不好意思，我刚刚有点口误哈，因为我一定要确认一下什么叫 ADM render 这个部分。那基本上来说呢，它就是像是个播放程式，所以就算你在 Nuendo 里面所混的这些东西，就是你混的这些就是这个环绕这个部分嘞，然后嘞，你可以去下载这个 EBU ADM renderer，你可以在任何其他地方都可以播放，你都不需要有 Nuendo。当然，它有强调，如果要制作的话，你当然会需要用到 Nuendo 11。嘿。
Okay, and so I will be showing you a music project very briefly, and then also a post-production project, so you can see both sides of the world. Dolby says that music has changed forever. Let's see about that, but it's being supported more and more. So I'll go to Nuendo and show you both a music project and a post-production project on Dolby Atmos to see the different workflows.
OK， 所以他接下来就是要给你看的，就是说他会用2种案例给你看，一个是音乐的，然后另外一个是影像声音后置的，让你看一下到底这个都比这个render 它是去做一个比较。Yeah.
Let's immerse to Nuendo. Okay, I'm going to open a project for that. And first of all, I will open a music project that is in stereo, and I will just go through a workflow on how to make it a Dolby Atmos mix, so you can see how easy it is.
All right, 所以接下来他要给你看的就是说他的现在有的这个工作档就是音乐工作档，然后呢这些全部都是在立体声模式底下，然后呢他会教你怎么快速去把它转成Dolby Atmos.
Okay, so this is just a stereo file. Let's just play a little bit of it. It's just a stereo project.
Okay.
Cool, stereo. Let's make it immersive.
Okay. 现在我们把它弄成那个杜比环绕。Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing we have to do, we have to make a bus that is 714 because this is the Dolby Atmos format. So we had to make a 714 bus.
You might want to take a little bit slow, okay, on this one, okay?
I will remove it, and you have to add a bus.
I'm sorry. I would take time to explain that. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries, man. I mean, okay, you have to create a bus 714. Yes.
Okay, no problem. 在 Nuendo 这里面呢，在它的那个设定里面，你需要去做一个 output bus， 你要去做一个 7.1.4 的 output bus. Okay.
Okay. So, I just want to make sure that these are the outputs, so everything is clear. These are the outputs of the project. So now it's just a stereo output. I'll create the 714, and very important, you have to right-click and make the 714 be the main mix of your project, because in Nuendo you can have several formats. So you have to make it the main mix.
OK， 好，所以接下来他刚刚所做的嘞，就是在 Nuendo 这里面有所谓的 Output Bus 视窗。OK， 那基本上这个 Output 这个叫 Audio Connection。如果你有 Nuendo 的话，基本上你会知道，你按 F4 这个视窗就会跳出来。然后这个视窗里面有所谓的 Input 输入 Output， 还有其他你所看到的。那 Input Output 就是指说这个 Project 它的输入源跟输出源是在哪里。OK， 你可以去做这个设定。那不过呢，在这个输出这个视窗里面嘞，你刚刚看到它之前就已经先有一个 Stereo Out， 就是立体声这一部分，立体声的那个Output。那现在它是要增加 7.1.4 Output， 刚刚我们所讲到了嘛 7.1.4 这个就是 Dolby Atmos 的他们的规格。OK， 然后嘞。你需要在那个 7.1.4 这个 output 嘞，然后按右键，然后底下就看到它的滑鼠在这个地方说 set 7.1.4 out as main mix， 就是说就是接下来我们聆听的时候都要以 7.1.4 的模式去聆听。Yeah.
Okay, so now I see a little speaker here.And now this is my main mix.
OK， 所以你看到了，他刚刚所点说是 main mix， 然后你会在7.1.4 这个 out 的地方，你会看到一个小小的黑色的那个像音量或喇叭图示，那个就代表现在就是在 7.1.4 的模式底下去做聆听。Hey.
Now, if you have a Atmos room, normally you probably will connect your audio interface right here. But for this example, I will be monitoring the renderer through the control room of Nuendo, which is the monitoring section of Nuendo.
OK， 所以在这个地方，他等一下准备要秀给你看，我们要怎么去做，可以去用我们的耳机去聆听这个Dolby Atmos 7.1.4。嗨。
So I'm just gonna not connect this, and I will just make sure that I have a monitor and it's my interface. So now everything should be okay. Okay, so
hold on. Sorry. This might need to take a bit slow. Okay, back to the output. Please, back to the output. 所以现在来说的话，就是确保刚才因为我们在用这个时候嘞，我们一定要去点，就是说通常我们如果说没有用到 control room， 等一下会讲 control room 的意思哈。我们在这个视窗里面，我们都需要去点到我们的现在所使用的录音界面或者是电脑的音效卡，所以才会有声音出现，对吧？ OK， 那只不过在这个地方嘞，它会把就是在 output 这个地方，它会把这些录音，就是你看上面有写 audio device， 有没有看到底下有写 not connected？ 你要确保它是没有连接到你的录音界面。然后嘞，我们再到 control room， 就是所谓的我们可以讲俗称一点就是主控室，在这个主控监听室，然后这个主控监听室嘞。就是你有看到那边写有 stereo 那个地方，就是你要去把它去用到。我们现在所有聆听都在这个主控监听室了，所以在这个地方我们就是要去用那个录音，就是你要去指定到你的录音界面上面。
Thanks to this control room configuration is how I can mix the 714 into stereo. So basically, if you don't have that and you have a lot of speakers, just go ahead and put your interface. But because we are transmitting in stereo, then the control room allows me to have the 714 and send it to you in stereo.
OK， 就是因为有这个主控监听室这个地方了，所以才有办法。当然，他说如果有那么多喇叭的话，那不用担心，我们直接在 output 那个地方，你去设定到底你的每颗喇叭是要就是你每个 output 要到哪个喇叭。不过呢，因为现在它所使用就是 headphone， 就是一个耳机，所以呢，这个主控监听室就有办法可以把这个7.1.4带到你的耳机里面来。Yeah.
All right. So then let's say we have a project and we have to, of course, insert the renderer on the main output.
OK. 然后在这个地方嘞，它需要把就是刚刚我们所讲到这一次Nuendo 11的这最屌的功能就是 Dolby Atmos Render， 这个是一个外挂，也就是你买Nuendo 11就会有的。那接下来它要把这个外挂嘞直接丢到这个工作资料夹的主要的总音量。You say the master, right?
Yes, the 714 master.
Yeah， 那就丢到它的那个它的总音量上面。嘿。
So now the render is there. It's actually an insert on my master. Yes. Okay. We have the renderer now. Okay. So we have to connect the project to the renderer to send the files. And that is made through this window called ADM for Dolby Atmos.
Okay, hold on. OK， 所以当我们在做完这个刚才这个步骤之后呢，就是在它的那个 master volume 那个地方上面要增加，要 insert 就是增加这个外挂这个Dolby Atmos Render， 然后接下来你要到 project 底下有个叫做 ADM authoring for Dolby Atmos. All right, go ahead.
And once I have some things here. Let's just delete that. Once you open this, it will show you this window. So now, in this window, the ADM authoring for Dolby Atmos window, this is where I can select which renderer I want to work with the Atmos or the internal, for example.
OK， 所以在这个地方呢，这个就是 ADM authoring， 你现在所看到 ADM authoring 的那个 for Dolby Atmos 的视窗，然后在 render 这个部分就是产生要经过什么地方，那这边就会有显示说有 external Dolby Atmos render， 就是如果你有自己本身有买一台，如果本身有买一台这个杜比环绕的那个的编码器，那最底下它现在滑鼠在这个地方呢是 render for Dolby Atmos， 然后这个就是Nuendo 11自己本身有的。
So I will select the integrated Dolby Atmos renderer, which is the last one. I will select that, and now they are connected.
OK， 所以他刚刚就点 render for Dolby Atmos， 记得你买了Nuendo 11，你要测试这个东西，然后 render 这部分记得一定要选择 render for Dolby Atmos， 然后你选择 Dolby Atmos， 之后呢，它就直接连接到它的右边的视窗。Thanks.
Okay, and now as mentioned before, we have beds and objects. So if you want to have the main mix, then you add a bed, and then you can add the objects around if you want.
OK，
so I'm going to open one. Yeah, please.
Sorry, OK， 好，所以这边就有显示有 add bed 跟 add object。那我刚刚所讲的 add bed 基本上是你所有的其他的主要的混音的声音是在那个地方，但是嘞 add object 嘞是就是我们刚刚所讲有特别你希望能够去让它去就是能够上山下海啊，你知道吗？去左右上下可以做个环绕的感觉，你就要使用 add object。OK。
Okay, so let's say I want to add the bed. So now I just added the bed, and there's still, you can add an input track for that bed if you want. The recommendation is to send everything into one group, and that group will go to the bed. That's the Dolby recommendation, and we will do that. We'll group the channels that we want to be a bed into one group track, because that's a recommendation from Dolby.
OK， 所以sorry. OK， I'll go ahead.
Yeah, so basically what I will do, because Dolby recommends it, is that instead of adding just source tracks for beds, what I will do is that I will group all the tracks that I want them to be a bed.
OK， I'm gonna explain this one. 所以在 bed 这部分呢，就是说我们希望是杜比这边的特别的建议 ，OK， 就说你要把就是先把所有你要能够放在 bed 这个模式底下的所有的声音全部都 group 起来，那这 group 起来就是使用 Nuendo 里面的 group channel，OK， 把它弄成一个很像我们说弄成一个编组 ，OK， 好，然后嘞他说这样子来说的话去做回音会比较好，就是你到时候不会乱，好。Okay.
So this is actually very, very easy to do in Nuendo. What I have to do is I just have to select all the channels, and I will basically create a group channel. So all these channels will go to just one group.
Okay.
With just one click.
All right, OK， 所以要这样去做的话很简单，他刚刚就已经给你看了，把所有的轨道，我在讲什么中文？把所有的轨道，不好意思，然后嘞，所有的轨道全部都选择起来嘞，然后按右键，然后点 Add Track， 然后嘞 Add Track 就会出现另外 Submenu， 就是你现在所看到它滑出在的地方，然后你就选择 Group Channel to Select the Channel， 也就是说，它会把你刚刚所选择所有变成一个 Group Channel。Hi.
Okay. So the configuration for the bed is 712, as we saw in the PowerPoint, 712, and that will go to the main output containing the renderer, and I will name it main bed because this will be my main bed.
Okay. Hold on. 所以当你在按，就是当你在刚才点下去说那个 add group 那个 group channel 之后呢，它会出现这个 A track 这个视窗，然后这个视窗呢，在一开始的 configuration 你要选择是 7.1.2， 不过呢 audio output 就是待在我们刚刚所建立出来的 7.1.4 out， 然后呢，它在那个名字底下呢所写的就是 main bed， 就是我们希望所有的声音是在就是特别没有说要特别说要做任何太多的环绕或什么之类，我们所有就是主要的声音啦，对不起，主要的声音就把它放在 main bed 这里。All right.
Okay, so now I have here a track. I will color it red. This is my main bed, and I can see that all the tracks have been assigned. The outputs are going to that group called main bed.
Okay, 所以
all these tracks.
sorry. OK， 所以你刚刚所看到它建立出来这个main bed 就是这个 group channel 之后嘞，当然因为上个礼拜有讲到旁边的就是所谓的就是现在它滑鼠就是它最左边的那个地方是每个轨道它会有的资讯，然后你会发现它每个资讯的 output 全部都点到 main bed 那里去，就是刚刚所建立的 group channel。
So now that all the tracks are going to that main bed, I can, as a source track for my bed, I can select that group channel named main bed.
Okay, 所以刚才我们
all tracks.
Sorry.
Which contain all tracks, yes.
OK， 所以说你刚刚看到，就是说，因为它把所有全部都变成 group channel 之后嘞，回到这个 Dolby Atmos render 这个视窗，这个 ADM authoring for Dolby Atmos 这个视窗嘞，然后你再看它的 source 来源，就是你的声音来源，底下就会出现了 main bed， 也就是你刚刚所建立出来的 group channel。All right.
Okay, and now if I press, now I see the bed has been assigned. I'm going to turn it down the volume. If I press play, there it is.
OK， 所以他刚刚已经全部都选择 main bed 之后呢，你就看这个那个 render for Dolby Atmos 就会出现，你有看到上面有黄色的，实际上呢，黄色大概跟你们解释一下，你只要有看到黄色格子的，这个就是 bed， 这是所谓的那个bed 这一部分，然后呢，等一下他在做 object， 你会看到上面会显示是蓝色的，嗨。
So now that my main sub-mix of the whole project is going through the Dolby Atmos, you might notice that there's an object view here and there are no objects because I have not yet created any object.
OK， 所以他现在给你看到他在 play 的时候，你会看到他除了这以外，他也给你除了这上面的黄色格子啊，然后这边有东西在亮，你也知道亮就代表说是有声音进去，然后嘞。它这边还会显示 render output level， 就是让你大概知道说你的每一个 channel 它的 level 是在哪里。不过呢，你会发现到底下有一个比较大一点的格子叫 object view， 然后你会发现里面的 object view 是完全没有任何一些东西在里面。那是因为它现在它刚刚所加的东西那叫 bed， 而不是 object。All right.
So there's two ways to make objects. You can click and then select a channel, which is like the slow way. That will be a slow way, or you can just select the channel and in the function, you can say create object from selected track.
OK， 好，所以这个OK，go ahead. Hold on. When you do that, create an object from select track, does that mean that if you select many different track and use that function, that they will create like if I yeah, you know what I mean? If I select more than one tracks and I use that function, that means they will give me a lot more object.
There you go.
Okay, great, excellent. That's what I need to know. Thank you. All right, 所以去增加这个object 它有两种，它会有两个方式。一个嘞是经过它这个经过它的那个什么，就是它你要先点 add object， 然后 source track， 你再去点你想要的是哪个轨道，你需要让它变成 object。不过嘞，它也给你第二个方式，就是说你可以选择，就是直接在工作剪辑的地方，就是那些轨道，你可以选择多于一个你想要的，然后嘞，直接在它旁边这个 function， 它这边就有写 create object from selected track。这个部分你点下去之后，你就会发现，你选择5个嘛，你会发现有啪，马上就有5个 object 就出现了，也就是你刚刚所选择的。嗨。
So basically with that, I just made this track an object and I can see it here and the panner changes to object mode.
OK， 所以刚他所给你做的就是示范，他一点下去，刚刚记不记得我有讲过说黄色的格子是 bed，OK， 然后你有看到有特别有蓝色的圆圈嘞，就是 object， 也就是他刚刚所置入的 ，OK， 好，然后现在终于我们可以在 Object View 可以看得到这里有这个小圆球在这边，然后嘞，Nuendo 自己本身有的 VSD Multi Panel 就是我们可以移动它的相位，可以看到它可以从上方图可以移动左右以外嘞，就是左右，然后旁边也可以选择，也可以移动上下，嘿。
Yeah, and then basically you can just hit automation and start automating things around your head, on your sides. So it's very much fun to make music with this kind of technology.
Right， 所以刚刚所讲的这样子的功能，你就可以有办法可以把你想要的不管是哪个音乐里面的音色或这些之类，你可以借由这个方式去把它做的就是你们俗称说的8D 音乐。但是尽量不要讲8D 音乐，因为真的实际上没有这个8D 音乐哈。OK， 好，所以yeah， go ahead.
Okay, so that's basically, let's say the music part. Most people are still using it for post-production, so for films. So I'm going to open a project and I'm just going to show you it's basically the same process. So if, let's say just for one of the questions you had about the render and that, like if you can add objects at the same time. This is a good example. I'm going to add the renderer. Oh, that's not it, sorry. I'm going to add the renderer. This is a post-production project. And of course, I do it very, very quickly. I'm going to add a bed. I have already my main bed here.
Thanks
and I'm just going to tell you something. I did this because I already did it, but
yeah, no problem.
This is the information I want to give now, okay? If you're working in a post-production project and you have many objects that you want to become, many tracks you want to become objects, you can select all that. So for example, these are all my guns, my helicopters, all this stuff. You can select all those tracks, of course, and go to the function, and you will see that all these objects will be assigned. You see? That's the point I wanted to make.
Okay, no problem. All right. 他接下来给你看到，其实他打开来就是他的影像声音后置的这个工作档。OK， 这是 post production 哦，就不是音乐了哈。那不过呢，我还是一样是用刚才你所看到的同样的方式，然后去把你想要的，他现在所加的这些东西呢，就是反正就全部都是音效 ，OK 哈，那他就把这个音效直接用刚才那个 function 那个方式，我把所有的音效的轨道选起来，然后用 function 就是 create 那个 object from select the track， 然后他就所有你刚刚所选的都出现在这个里面 as an object， 然后你再看那个什么那个 render for Dolby Atmos 嘞，你就会发现有一堆那个蓝色的那个全部都是 object。Yeah.
And once you're happy with your mix and you're ready, you just have to select the part of the project that you want to be rendered. And then on the ADM authoring for Dolby Atmos window, you just have to select export ADM. And that will export the file with all the data that went through the renderer. So that's how easy it is. It's just click export ADM and everything that is reflected on the renderer will become one ADM file.
All right. Maybe you later on you could do that export ADM procedure for
well, it takes some time. That's why I don't do it.
I don't care. Do it. All right, I'm just kidding. Okay, great. 不过这个部分来说的话，就是刚刚所讲到的 export 那个 ADM file，OK？ 那这个 ADM file 就是里面就会包含你所有就是在杜比环绕模式里面所就是你所动到的任何的香味啊，或者是音量以及声音这部分，全部都会，你只要点一下 export ADM file， 它就出去了。然后嘞，就是这么简单。不过呢，这个 ADM file 还记不记得刚刚所跟你讲的 EBU ADM renderer？ 你如果说是没有Nuendo 11的话，想要去聆听你这部分的话，它可以用这个 render 去聆听你刚刚所混的东西。All right.
All right, and there's just one thing I want to mention, and that's going to be basically just to make it more clear how it gets to the headphones, and that's the binaural part. So how can you monitor Dolby Atmos with headphones, binaural audio?
OK， 接下来就是另外一个大重点了。我们都想知道，我们不想花那么多钱去买那么多喇叭，对不对？我们希望能够在耳机上就可以监听到这个杜比环绕。接下来他会秀给你看该怎么做。Yep.
And this is basically so that you can have a pre-mix or an idea of how it will sound, and you don't have to be always on the studio that you have to rent, like it has to be an Atmos studio. So you can have a pre-mix and then go to a studio and retwitch the mix over there.
OK， 所以基本上呢，这个方式大家他还是提醒各位，我们用这个方式，我们是先混个大方向。那不过呢，这个我们还是要回到正规的，就是专门混Dolby Atmos 的这个地方去，能够去做更精准的调整。
Okay, so last week we talked about ambisonics, which is the technique that we use to have the 360 audio.
OK， 上个礼拜我们就讲到，上礼拜相信如果大家应该还记得的话，他有讲到关于 ambisonic 360度的audio。
And the ambisonics, the easiest way you can think about it is it is a full sphere surround technique where you are in the middle of that sphere.
Ambisonic 的它的那个概念其实很简单，你看到前面就是个大的球，对不对？然后呢，聆听者呢将会是在球的中间。
And last week we talked about it because of the head tracking, because we were talking about BR and ambisonic can head track. This week it's not about head tracking but about binaural.
Okay.
Why ambisonic is so important. Yeah.
All right. Okay. 所以上个礼拜我们讲到关于是Aldo 讲到关于是 ambisonic， 很多人他在聆听的时候，他们会需要用到就是所谓的 head tracking。head tracking 就是说，如果说就是说你周围的东西的声音以及它的相位会跟着你的头摇摆的方向会移动。
So today we are talking about ambisonics, but instead of focusing on the head tracking, we'll focus on binaural. So these are representation of how it kind of does it. Of course, it's not perfect because you cannot perceive things over here. There's some phasing with filtering going on, and it gets better each year. So it's not the perfect solution, but it's a very good solution for monitoring in binaural.
OK， 所以这个binaural audio 这个部分呢，基本上就是能够让我们在我们的耳机可以听到沉浸式，这是就是所谓的沉浸式混音。然后呢，虽然说现在来讲的话，这个技术不要说还不成熟，而是说它一直逐渐都在进步当中。
All right, so let's try to do this. Let's think. We have our ambisonic project that is an Atmos project already here.
OK， 所以接下来它是直接打开来就是Dolby Atmos 的工作人，就是它的聆听模式 7.1.4。OK，
so I'm gonna try to be let's say slow about this. To have an ambisonics capability, you have to add an ambisonic bus.
OK， 所以要能够在耳机里面听到这个沉浸式的感觉的话，你一定要再加一个 output bus， 然后你看到它现在所选择的，它就是点 output bus， 然后嘞在那个选择底下有选择 more， 然后再来我们选择是 third order ambisonic。哎
So I will create that bus and I will make it the main mix of the project.
OK， 所以一样，他把这个 third order 建立third order output 建立出来之後嘞，一樣我們都是要在上面點右鍵，然後把它當作是主要的聆聽模式，就是 as a main mix。係。
All right.
All right.
So now because we are monitoring with headphones, on my control room, I have to add a headphone channel.
OK， 所以因为我们是要用耳機的，所以呢，它這邊要另外建立一個叫 add headphone。好 ，Go ahead。
All right. So I connect the interface to my headphone channel.
然後它的那個 phone， 它的那個耳機這個部分，你看到它上面所點的 connected， 然後這個就要連接到 Steinberg UR44， 也就是所謂的現在還蠻夯的錄音界面。係。
And I make sure those are the devices. I'm going to put output 1 and 2. So you have to make sure everything is okay. And you might see that now I have a new button here, which is my headphone mix. And it says BST Ambi Decoder. It has been placed automatically there for me.
OK， 所以当他去点刚才的那个，就是帮他指定到录音界面之后嘞，你就会发现它的这个最右边这个地方点嘞，就是它的那个主控监听设定会出现 phone， 然后 phone 这里面嘞会出现 VST Ambi Decoder。OK， 那这个其实他刚刚所点的时候 ，Nuendo 就会自动帮你建立起来了。
All right, so I'm gonna go to my mixing console, and let me just close the Zoom windows. Okay, there you go. I'm gonna go to my mixing console, and I have my VST renderer here. So this is still having all the signals, but we cannot hear it because it's not connected to the ambisonic bus. So to connect it, we have to go to the VST renderer, wherever the VST renderer is connected, and we have to send that signal to the third order ambisonic bus.
OK，
as a send.
As a send, OK, no problem. OK， 所以目前为止我们还没办法听到声音进来，因为我们只是建立这个东西出现，我们只是建立一个 third order 这个 output， 但是我们并没有把声音转到那里去，所以我们必须要在主要的那个hold on, let me see, is that 7.1.4, right?
That's a 7.144, yes.
Yeah.
So exactly,
yeah,
where the
VST
renderer is.
OK, good. 好，所以这个 VST render 在这里面，然后这个是所谓的混音台的视窗，你直接点 F3 它就会出现了哈。然后呢，在那个 VST 的那个刚才他所点的地方，然后底下这边有所谓的 send， 也就是传送。然后呢，在这里呢，我们需要把声音传输到 third order ambisonic， 也就是我们刚刚所建立出来的 output。
And now that I send that and I enable it, now the project, whenever it's here, let's see here, now it should go through the ambisonic decoder.
Okay.
And that's how you connect it, basically.
No problem.
You see here how everything is going from 7.1.4 to 2?
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. Whoa, that's pretty loud, man. Okay, that's cool. All right, yeah,所以他刚刚就是点刚才去把这个声音 send， 把这个主要的声音 send 到 third order那个 third order ambisonic， 然后那个你的耳机就会听到那个杜比环绕，但是你千万不要忘记，在刚才的 CR 里面，就是主要的主控监听那里，你要建立一个 phone， 你要建立那个 phone， 你才有办法可以听得到。嗨。
And that's basically how you do it. So that's how you can have a binaural version of your Atmos mix. I'm glad that this has been recorded because I know there's a lot of information.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say actually. Yeah, that's what about. Yeah, 就是刚才 Aldo 跟我想的都差不多是一样，因为刚才我相信，如果对于没有用过 Nuendo 或者是对于这个是第一次的话，相信应该会现在就头昏脑胀了。不过不用担心，因为台湾雅马哈这个部分嘞，他们真的也很就是很尽这个责任，就是把现在这所有东西都录起来，所以后续嘞，雅马哈这边会发布就是这个影片，你可以会在哪里可以看得到 ？All right， 所以在 YouTube 或者是 Facebook 都可以看得到。All right。
And that's the core of my presentation. I think that's enough material for you to digest, I hope. So yeah. If you have any questions or anything, and I also want to mention that I'm very open to have more sessions on any topic that you guys feel interested in. So thank you very much for your time. Now it's a question time.
OK， 所以他刚所讲说，相信就是反正那个研习会是到现在了 ，OK 哈，就是因为今天带给你们一定有很多就是资讯爆炸啦，说实在的 ，OK。但是不过嘞，他说他非常他非常乐意，如果说你们在于这部分或者在其他的主题上还想要做更多一点的研习会的话，那当然只要跟台湾这边雅马哈。就是讲一下，然后嘞，我们这边跟讲师 set up 一个时间，那就可以依照，当然是看各个观众，你们会希望能够听到什么样子的主题 ，OK， 然后现在就是 Q&A 时间 ，OK，also Aldo, there's a question, it's been asked in the chat view. It says that will that be possible that Nuendo can also use audio EDL to reconform in the future? Yeah, audio EDL.
Well, so far it's just with the regular EDL, so it's just video EDLs. Yes, so far.
Okay, 所以刚才 Agnes 所问的就是说，因为之前我们所讲的 EDL 这部分，因为我们不是要从那个就是影像后置剪辑师那边要拿到，就是刚刚你看到 EDL list、EDL 清单以及那个影片嘛。那刚才 Agnes 所问的说，是否之后会有所谓，就是说我们不拿这个 就是 EDL 它会直接就是以一个声音的模式，然后有办法可以去对，而并不是真正是要从那边拿到那个 EDL 清单。那不过呢，刚才 Aldo 就讲过说，这个目前为止还没有任何的发展性。不过后续我们会再看。OK， 还有没有任何其他的问题想问的？快点哦，最后一天了哦。Any question， 或者是你也可以在这上面提出说你想要看到什么样的主题。All right，OK, great, excellent. OK， 好，我们有另外一个，就是说，有另外一个问题在这上面。OK, Aldo, there's a question for you. Is any like for the VST panel, right? What kind of like is any way to use like third like a third party like iPad and those kind of things to use as the multi-panel?
Not yet. I mean, the iPad version, there's no Nuendo iPad, so there's a Cubase version, Cubasis, and it's not complete. Unfortunately, multi-panel is not to be manipulated outside Nuendo yet.
OK， OK， 所以他刚刚所讲的，针对第一个问题就是说，目前为止这个 multi-panel 它只能是在那个里面，或者是它其他所认证的，混音的那个我们所讲的那个 joystick， 我he's also asked, is any like more like not to be so expensive, but more like like for lower budget controller to do that?
But does he try to control the multi-panel in Nuendo with an iPad, or does he wants to have the multi-panel control something else?
Yeah, well, that's actually two questions.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, you could control the multi-panel with a like touch screen or something like that, but you cannot take it out of Nuendo. So basically, I'm not sure if there's a cheaper third party for that. Probably there is, but I'm really not sure about that.
Yeah, 他是不太清楚了，不过他讲说是他有讲到一个 key point touch screen， 所以我是的确是有看到国外有些人是有用就是可以触碰式的萤幕，然后去做这个样子。不过嘞，there's a more question, okay? What we do when we move in the music, I mean in the Dolby Atmos, there's a the tempo, there's a lock. Would there be any delaying or whatever that is? Yeah.
Nope. It should be completely integrated, so it's all locked. Yes.
OK， 所以针对你第二个问题，它不会有拍拖的那个感觉哈。拖拍不是拍拖，我讲错了，我讲成什么样子？拖拍 ，I'm sorry。OK， 好，可否介绍一下Nuendo内建可使用全景声对应的效果器 ？OK， so he's also asking if any other effect that can be used as in the immersive in the Dolby Atmos mixing, like what, like a compressor? Is any a particular one is using for that use, like a compressor, a reverb, or delay?
Yeah, there are solutions, third parties. We have kind of like a trick for delay, but it's not. It's a very complicated trick. We're working on having immersive reverbs right now. There's a workaround to have kind of an immersive reverb, but that's inside the Steinberg world. Outside the Steinberg world, there are already immersive reverbs and all this stuff. Now, the compressors, that's different. People are trying to figure out how to do this. Because, for example, you cannot put the voice too separated, because then you might want to take the voice out of that ADM. So it's ever changing, ever evolving, and the plugins are getting there, but still it's not like a standardized platform where there's plugins from every vendor.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to make, like for example, personally, I sometimes just bounce the reverb and then pan the reverb around. You can have 5.1 reverbs that you can upmix. There's different tricks.
Mm-hmm.
But there's if they want to have 714 reverbs,
mm-hmm.
Steinberg does not have that yet.
Mm-hmm. OK， sorry， 刚才朱先这边所问的就是说 compressor 成响跟 delay， 那这个部分刚刚所听到的就是说目前为止他们有自己用自己的方式，但是都不会说那么的精准。那不过嘞来说的话，他有讲到说他们后续他们正在开发跟这个全景声混音的对应的效果器。OK， 好，let me see another question， 有没有办法 QC 在不同平台的作品表现之外，那么输出给别人怎么出档会比较适合？多声道。OK, great, excellent. So, for that,
I'm going to show you very quick, kind of like one of the workarounds. But this is not, it's not recommended, but you can do it. If you have three reverbs, let's say I just opened an FX channel and have three reverbs on it.
Yep.
And let's say I'm just going to change the pre-delay on those reverbs. And there's a way that you can, which is very, very nerdy. In the inserts, you can change where the reverb is going to. So you can change it and get the reverb to go to, like, let's say, the surround back, for example. And then the other one, you can change it to go to, like, you know, to different parts of the speaker setup. And when you send it to this effect channel, then it will be placed on the speakers. You know, that's a workaround. Yeah, we will come with one reverb for this. Okay, just this is the way we do it right now. The nerds.
OK, no problem. 所以目前为止，他有讲到关于 reverb 这部分怎么在全景声里面使用这种 workaround 呢，就是看用这样子的方式，但是并不是最正确的。不过他有用这样子的方式去做过。OK， 也就是说你现在所看到他这边有所谓，就是他有建立一个 FX channel， 就是效果的轨道上，然后呢，他有加 reverb 进去。不过呢，在这个地方呢，因为这个是在 Atmos 的模式底下，所以这边有出现有不同的就是喇叭，像说不同的喇叭相位，像说左中右啊那些之类的。然后呢，你可以把这个 reverb 可以加在你要它从前面出现、后面出现、上方出现或这些之类的。那当然，这个他刚刚所讲过的，并不是真正非常正规的一个做法。不过呢，他们就像刚刚所讲的，他们已经开始在研发，真的是给全景声所使用的。OK， 好，然后hold on, there's one more question.
Yeah, please.
Yes, 请问 reconform 功能是不管影像有几段修改，只要一键可以自动对上吗？ Okay. For the reconform, for the function of the reconforming, okay, does that mean is it like it says that does it like 不管影像声有几段修改 like it doesn't matter how many cuts or how many change that apply to video or apply to the for the project. Does that mean I just press the start reconforming, it will just match it up? Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, it will depend on the power of your computer. So if you have a 54-hour length documentary and you would try to reconform 200 pieces, maybe it will take a while, but we have tried this a lot with big projects and it doesn't matter. It will, if your computer can do it, which most computers now are very powerful, then it will do it. It will just take a little bit longer.
OK， 刚刚所问关于 reconforming 这个关于声音有几段，不管是影像或声音有几段被修改，只要一键，的确它可以自动对上。不过呢，他也刚刚所讲过 ，reconforming 这个功能会花多一些时间。OK， 好，就是针对，就他说，如果你电脑非常 powerful 的话，那基本上是很 OK 的。如果说没有那么 powerful 的话，基本上也要等多一些时间。好。Okay, there's another question. 我常接触的工作流程，剪辑上剪辑现场收音的 mix down 声音，要如何连接回现场多轨的声音来做删减？Let me see. 剪接场是剪辑现场收音的 mix down 声音，要如何连接回？Okay, so there's a part about post-production for the workflow. Okay, this particular person asked for the editing. Like right now, usually he or she edit the mix down from the location sound. Okay, editing the mix down. Okay, so is it possible that when I cut the mix down, already mixed down sound, how to connect back to the original, like those like many different location soundtrack to get like to do the final edited.
Is that recording outside the studio, like with a field recorder?
Yeah, because I'm trying to explain in the word that they ask, but if for me to ask, that mean if like at first, if I get a project, if I get a already only mixed down, okay, mixed down, and also a video from the video editor, I haven't got the EDL or either that. I haven't got any OMF. Okay. And when I do that, when I do that editing, is it possible? Can I connect my already editing mixed down sound back to the maybe the OMF or EDL, what they give to me later on?
Well, we have something similar, but I'm not sure if it will be. Let me check. Because when we do have a function for, but you need kind of the files, the material files. So let's say, I hope this is something that will help to answer the question. Say I become a video from an editor, right? And the audio is not the best, and I have to change it. So there's normally several microphones. The video editor edits with a reference track, and then they give you the final cut, and you have to search for the better files.
Yeah, well, either that, yeah.
So maybe that's not it. I'm not sure, because and that will be the function that we have that is the most that looks more like it will work for that specific case. Because if you have just one video file and one reference track and nothing else, you have to do it manually.
Okay.
Because there's no, if you don't have any EDL, there's no time code, anything like this. Yeah. No.
OK， 他刚刚跟你所讲的，要如何连接回现场多轨声音来做申请的话，无论如何，就是你都一定需要用到所谓的 EDL 跟一定要有这个 EDL 这个清单，才有办法可以连接回去。
But I want to show you something that might be of interest. Okay. Okay. If you are recording and there's several takes, you get the video from the editor, the final video, and you as an audio editor, you have to improve the audio quality. And let's say I'm going to play a little example of something that doesn't sound that great. Can you please translate that?
OK， 接下来他要给你看另外一个工作流程哈，就是说他会给你去听。如果说现场这个声音，就是说我们要怎么去选择。如果说要选择好的声音，不过你现在所听到是它的音质不是那么好。
Okay. So let's say there's noise.
Where's my dad?
It doesn't. The voice is lost, you know, and you have to change.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we do have a function for that. If you become all these files from all these different microphones, like a lavalier microphone I have here, then you have a shotgun, etc.
Yeah.
There's a function that is called field recorder audio import.
Okay.
And in that function, you can scan a folder, and then you can, and okay, maybe you can translate this. There's a function where you can scan a folder with different audio files, and you can match and replace the file. So this might help the person asking.
Okay. All right. 所以这个另外一个 Nuendo 会有的功能叫 Field Recording Audio Function. OK, Field Recorder Audio Import. 那这个功能它会在就是如果就是当你拿到一堆档案的时候，然后你想要寻找这个档案的可能它的最好的来源了哈，就是说他刚刚所讲，除了mini mic 或者是 boom 或那些之类，你想要寻找比较好的那个声音来源的话，你可以用这样子的方式嘞。然后嘞，你就可以，就是它会帮你去侦测里面，然后有什么去 match 到你现在所使用这个，然后嘞，你就可以你可以在上面去聆听，做个切换。那
Sorry.
不过这个部分恐怕是没有回答到你刚才想要问的问题，因为刚才你想问的问题，很抱歉，这边他还是跟你讲说，一定会还是需要有用到 EDL 这一部分。
Okay, so this is how it works. So let's say I have to replace this file, which it didn't sound that great. So I select the file, and I click on update. Okay.
Okay.
Then I select field recorder. These are my source files. I already know this. These are my source files.
Hey.
So I select a folder containing the files.
Hey.
There you go. Okay. For some reason, it's not. Just wait a second.
It's not linking to it.
It's not linking to it. Yeah, but that's probably my computer just going crazy with all this.
Yeah, no problem.
So basically, with that, field recorder import. Oh man, probably it's not even here because that's a very old project. But you can relink the files, and then it will basically search for all the files, and then you can basically exchange them. I think I don't have them in this computer because that's from
no
Nuendo
problem. No
8.
problem. I get it.
Yeah.
No
So
problem.
you can explain that. You can search. You can replace file. Yeah.
所以借由这个 field 他刚刚所给你看到，借由这个 field recorder， 如果当然这个跟您刚刚所讲那个 mix down 或 reference track 那是没办法的一件事情。不过如果是当我们是在做这些，就是真正在这个正式这个部分呢，我们要去做，就是在这个剪辑里面我们要去切换到好的话，那当然用这个好的音质的话，我们就要试着，不是说好的音质，就是你有多余选择可以去听到底有哪个好的音质的话，那当然就用这个 field recorder audio， 然后嘞，你只要把所有的那个什么，就是你会有的那个什么，所有的会有的那个什么那个声音档案，就是那个资料夹，把它丢进去，然后它会帮你去 search for that， 就会帮你去抓到那个，就是你可以再去做选择。那他刚刚没办法去做示范，原因是因为这个档案实在太旧了。那也许他的那些什么 field， 他的那些什么那些现场声音都已经不在这台电脑里面，说不定是在别台电脑。OK Okay, there's another last. I think.
I found them. Sorry.
You found it. All right, 他找到了，太棒了，他找到了。Okay, great, excellent. Let's do it.
So basically, it will analyze the files. It will say there's 38 files. Yes, and then you can just, so it works. It's just that I had it somewhere else, and then you can replace it. Thank you. Any other questions?
All right, excellent. 所以他刚刚的确有找到，然后他刚刚所使用的就是刚刚我所讲的 field recording。那如果说有想要问关于就是对这个非常有兴趣的话，当然我们也可以有这样子的主题，就是看一下，就是都可以跟台湾雅马哈这边讲一下，然后我们看有什么样的主题你想要知道的。然后there's a last question. It says, "Ask does Nuendo have third order limiter?"
Nope. No, actually, there's you have to be careful with the loudness, and that will be your limit. There's no limiter for this kind of ADM workflow. This is all on the making, and also because of the music thing, because there's services supporting music, so people are starting to ask these questions, and we and all the industry will provide, but still this is very fresh. So there's still no Atmos limiting in the Steinberg world. Yes.
OK， 不好意思，他这边讲说是因为这个技术来说的话，还算蛮新的，所以说不过他们一样，就跟刚才那些就是说如果想要就是对于陈景生这些可以用得到的效果，他们都是在努力在研发当中。OK， there's a last text that I read. If you want to conform all the channel from field recording for the project, you can use Pro Tools Audio, EDL, ED Load. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's Pro Tools. Yeah, this actually, I know. I have actually used that Pro Tools Audio, EDL Load.
Yeah. You will see that DAWs are doing all this stuff. You will see folder tracks in Pro Tools that comes from Nuendo, etc. Yes, this common thing.
Yeah， 他说当然 OK 啦。那这个部分，因为每个人都有每个人的工作模式，如果有找到特别好的，当然就会使用那样子的方式是 OK 的。 哎，
And that's why I did not say this is a Nuendo exclusive. I've never. That's why.
对，所以为什么他从来关于这样子刚才所讲什么 field recording 或有的没有之类的，他不会讲说是只有 Nuendo 才会有的。好，
All the other 3 ones that I made in the beginning are Nuendo exclusives. Yeah.
All right， 就是其他他刚刚所讲的，像他刚刚所讲的说什么 Eda Taker 啊，或者是刚刚所讲的 Dolby Atmos 的一些的功能那些，还有以及所讲到的什么 Netflix 的 Loudness 那些都是Nuendo独占的。
Yeah, and reconfirm also. And also, if you can do Atmos in Pro Tools, but you have to spend dollars for that. And Nuendo comes with everything. Yeah.
All right. 所以当然之后后续的话，当然是希望说 ，Well, I hope that Steinberg that can come out some really easier tool for that. I mean, for the people who choose Nuendo as a main DAW like me.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. 所以后续还是一样，就是无论说有什么样子的问题，或什么样子的主题，或这些之类。Somebody actually said that maybe they can have a VR session next time. VR session.
VR part. I was lucky enough to be in Taiwan with the VR thing. The VR part on the internet is almost unshowable because you cannot experience it. So unfortunately, I can do like a theoric session, but it's I will say I wish in the future I can go there with the VR equipment because through the internet it's not that effective.
I wish you can be here so we can get drunk once a time, right? All right. 所以关于这个 VR session next time 恐怕没办法是在研习会，就是网络上研习会这样去做，因为这是没办法去完美解释出到底就是它的声音的走向跟这些之类的，所以他会希望说能够后续，当然当疫情结束之后，当然跟疫情并存之后，找到方式之后，那他可以就是能够就是台湾雅马哈可以邀请他来，然后特别可以为这个 VR 去做一个就是面对面的研习会。All right.
And I must say that all the VR documentation is online on our YouTube channel. There's a lot of videos exactly because it's so hard to experience it. There's plenty of information and videos where you can see how it works in our channel.
All right. 所以在他那个 Steinberg 的 channel 里面，的确是有很多关于这个 VR 这一部分。那只不过还是一样，因为在网络上实在真的是有点难去proper 真正体验到这个 VR 这个感觉，所以还是一样，反正有什么样子的主题，我也希望大家能够踊跃，就是讲说想要什么样，我们也会跟台湾的雅马哈，就是看说要怎么样可以有你们想要的研习，然后我们定下来也会把时间跟你们说，哎 ，All right。Okay, so that will be it. 因为现在差不多时间也到了，当然我是不会亲自唱晚安曲了哈。那不过呢，就说非常谢谢，非常感谢各位能够今天来参加这一次的研习会，这2次的研习会都非常非常特别。Aldo 这边就是他这个是特别的，真是特别为了台湾 only 这个 webinar。所以说，这一部分，就是希望大家都喜欢。然后后续，台湾雅马哈嘞一定会再把这就是前一次跟这一次的那个什么那个所录制的那个影片 PO 到官网上，就刚刚所讲到的 Facebook 或 YouTube，所以大家可以看一下，重新复习一下。OK， 好，那。All right. Thank you so much, Aldo. Thank you so much for your time.
Same wise. Thanks for your patient time, and I hope to see you soon sometime in person. All the best.
Yeah, I want to see you. Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
Thank you, Aldo. Thank you, James.
All right.
Thank you, Yamaha, Taiwan.